Hello everyone, welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. So we have some excellent news for T-Mobile. The link for this article will be down below in the description for you. So it looks like the House is okaying the bill to grant T-Mobile's 2.5 gigahertz licenses. T-Mobile has been waiting on this since 2022 when they originally paid $304 million to acquire these licenses. There was a whole bunch of stuff going on. T-Mobile has not been happy with this. Many that were waiting for T-Mobile to get their hands on this so they can build out and broaden up the network will be very excited for T-Mobile. So here's what's going on. According to this article, T-Mobile is nearly in possession of the 2.5 gigahertz licenses, and it looks like the House of Representatives on Monday passed Senator John Kennedy's 5G Spectrum Authority Licensing Enforcement, which is the SALE Act, which would require the FCC to release the licenses. The Senate passed similar legislation in September, they're saying, even though the FCC in 2022 auctioned nearly 8,000 2.5 gigahertz licenses. The FCC did not immediately grant T-Mobile's licenses, and they're saying Congress allowed the FCC's auction authority to lapse. So FCC Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel argued that the law prohibited her from granting the licenses. They're saying not everyone agreed with that assessment. There's been a whole bunch of back and forth. Everyone believed that she was lying, that they definitely could go ahead and release those licenses, but they were dragging their feet and trying to beat around the bush. Meanwhile, T-Mobile did pursue the legislation route to get the job done. Fierce reached out to T-Mobile, which is where we're getting this article, and there was a message on, I guess, their social media, and this was posted by T-Mobile's VP of Legislative Affairs, Tony Russo. Tony says that this is not going to be good for their rivals, aka Verizon and AT&T. They are not going to be happy about this because we know how all three of these carriers are basically duking it out in the 5G realm, especially T-Mobile and Verizon. And AT&T is kind of in the middle where they really want to be bigger in their 5G realm, but they haven't done all the necessary things. They haven't taken all the necessary steps and risks, but they are very quick to try to knock someone else from getting ahead. So that's the big thing with this. So in a note for investors, according to New Street Research policy analyst Blair Levin, said granting of the licenses will have an immediate impact on T-Mobile's operational performance, as the company has already built out the towers and radios to use much of this spectrum. He noted that a Brattle Group report, which was paid for by T-Mobile, concluded that granting the licenses would enable T-Mobile to upgrade service to more than 50 million individuals almost immediately, and of course offer more in-home broadband services up to 3 million households. So in a statement, I guess from Levin, he says that the bottom line is the legislation passing is a plus for T-Mobile, a big negative for AT&T and Verizon, and due to more in-home broadband opportunities, will likely be an even bigger negative for Charter Communications and Comcast. So they're saying the big positives here is that T-Mobile won the vast majority of 2.5 gigahertz, but they're saying some other entities participated in auction 108 are also eager to get their spectrum. So the auction offered county-size licenses, which are easier for smaller entities to compete versus larger blocks that big carriers typically prefer. So this is excellent news. And of course, like I said, AT&T did not even compete in a 2.5 gigahertz auction, but they were very quick to try to urge the FCC to not grant these licenses to T-Mobile because they're saying that it would be unfair that T-Mobile has too much spectrum already. Well, then you should have participated. You should have done what you needed to do to try to get your hands on it. You'd have to know, all these carriers have to know, and this includes Dish. Dish is at fault too. You have to understand, you had to have known at the time that 5G was going to be an extremely expensive build, and it was going to take a lot of time, resources, and pretty much everything you have to go ahead and do it because you're building a network unlike before. This right here, 5G, is supposed to fix all of the issues that 4G and 3G had. This is basically supposed to be a supercharged version of 4G and reach all of those customers that were not able to get good 4G service. 5G is supposed to fix all of these issues. So you knew it was going to be expensive. And AT&T, you know, as much as I like them, I think they're one of the most reliable networks out there. They play games sometimes, they drag their feet, and they do point fingers at other people and try to knock other companies' successes from happening. And that's not how, I mean, you're just wasting your time pretty much. The FCC is not going to listen to AT&T, and T-Mobile is very well soon going to get their access to 2.5 gigahertz. This is definitely going to elevate their game without a doubt. This is going to give them a lot of power because there's a lot of licenses coming to them. They're going to be able to reach a lot of customers. And if the pricing is good on their home internet, which it is, there's going to be a lot of customers that got to give it a go. Whether or not they're going to stay, only time will tell. But this is definitely going to unleash a lot of power for T-Mobile. All the T-Mobile haters can say what they want. I don't play any favorites. I'm telling you what's going to happen. This is going to give them a big meaty edge. And, you know, Verizon will catch up, but it's going to take some time. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.